Welcome to another Thirsty Taste Thursday. And I will be doing something a little bit different on tonight. I will be going ahead and vegetables here. As you can see, we got some onions, we got some bell peppers, we got some tomatoes, and right here we got some mushrooms. Now, I'm definitely not going to be mixing this down and juicing it. What I will be doing on today is oftentimes, as people, we're not going to actually eat these type of things just by themselves. Possibly, it's good for you to actually eat, but in terms of you just eating it outright, you probably not going to actually do it. So instead, what I do is I go ahead and I eat them by putting them in something I actually like, which is eggs. I'm going to put them in my eggs, and this is how I'm going to actually go ahead and eat these things that are actually good for me, all these vegetables. I'm going to mix it in with some eggs. And as always, please like, share, comment, and leave something on this video. Also, too, go ahead and check out my online store. Possibly grab yourself one of these hats and other stuff on my website as well. Check it out and see what you may want to buy. But let's get on to the video. Alright, so you can see I've been cooking my eggs, and now since I've been cooking my eggs, I'm going to go ahead and take all this that I'm going to use to mix in there to make this thing nice and good. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. You can see the finishing touches of the food, nice and smoky coming off the grill. This is definitely going to be good. So, yep. There you go. Now, the key to all this is you want to have this so that you can basically get these good vegetables in you. So, once again, that's bell peppers, that's mushrooms, that's tomatoes, and this is and also onions. So, as I'm eating this, I know this is definitely a good taste. Still fresh and hot, but like I said, it's definitely helping for you to actually eat a little healthy while eating something that you actually like. So I would definitely suggest this as something to actually taste. But this is another Thirsty Taste Thursday. Okay, so my throwback on tonight is kind of all over the place, but it's not, but I'll explain that as I go. And the reason why I say that is because it is a song called You Will Know, and this is by Black Men United. Basically, this was a group of R&B artists that got together. I think about maybe 30 to 40 different R&B artists who got together to do this song, and it's called You Will Know. And it didn't necessarily probably do the best selling, but was a good concept as far as black men actually being united and actually singing and being together. Now, this was on the soundtrack to the movie Jason Lyric, and if you actually saw that movie, it was definitely a good movie, and one of those movies that a lot of people probably didn't go and watch at the movie theaters, but when it came out or they were able to bootleg it, a lot of people watched it and actually liked the actual movie. Now, this song is definitely something special in terms of R&B artists getting together to actually sing together in harmony. But then also, too, the writer of most of this song has recently passed away, and that was the singer D'Angelo. So may he rest in peace. But with that being said, I do want those of you, and maybe you can be seasoned person or a young person. Let me know, because I was just thinking to myself, as far as R&B and where it is and where it's going at this time, and I was thinking not female R&B artists, but I was thinking, who are the top 10 R&B males? I can't think of one in this generation. Maybe there's some out there that I just don't know about. But I'm pretty sure even the people that may send me, oh, hey, this person is a top Army person. And when I say in this generation, I would say like Chris Brown, even though he is still singing, I wouldn't technically say he's for like kind of this generation of young folks right now. But anywho, you can drop a comment, tell me some people. I just want to know, just so I know. But anywho, with that being said, that is my throwback on tonight, and I will leave a description or a link, I'm sorry, to the actual song. Actually, this link will show them actually performing this at the American Music Awards. So something you would definitely probably like. So just go ahead and check it out in the link. I'll leave it in my description. All right, so my thirsty topic on tonight is definitely about head coaches getting fired. Some after 1 or 2 seasons, but not only just them getting fired after 1 or 2 seasons, or just barely even 1 season. A lot of head coaches who have been at their schools for a good while recently this year have gotten fired and weren't even allowed the opportunity to actually finish out the season. Now, one to definitely speak of, who just happened to get fired this week, was James Franklin. He got fired from Penn State, where I believe it was about 11 or 12 years that he was the head coach there. Now, he definitely lifted Penn State up from the state of where they were at. Nobody was really talking about them in the national title situation or before he actually came there. But he lifted them up to be a better program than what they were. And one of the things was that once he lifted this team up to actually get them to be very competitive, where their only losses for a lot of seasons, a lot of the past seasons, had came by the hands of Michigan or Ohio State. And it seemed like they struggled with actually beating a top 10 team. But in terms of getting his team to a bowl game and having his team at least in the conversation as possibly a team that may actually win the Big Ten championship, he had definitely led them to do that. And then he also last year led them to the Big Ten championship game where they lost to Oregon. Now, the thing that I could definitely say with his years of being there, as many years as he had, I don't think it's unfair that they actually did fire him, or if they fired him at the end of the season. The problem or the issue I basically have was the fact that they didn't let him finish the season and then fire him after the season. I think for all the things that he did at the school, they should at least allow him to finish out the rest of this season, and then at the end of the season, they could have actually let him go. Now, I also feel the same way about Mike Gundy at Oklahoma State. He hasn't started out real great this year. And even last year, they were very disappointed when they were a team that was expected to do much better. Now, he coached at Oklahoma State for 21 plus years, I believe it was. Now, I felt like for all the years of service that he had been at the school, and then he's actually an alum from the school, he actually played at Oklahoma State back when he was a college player, they should at least allowed him the opportunity to actually finish out the season as well. And then at the end of the season, they could have said, all right, your time is up. So I just think that it's strange that these schools have elected to actually do these type of things to people who have definitely had a good effect with their programs. Now, another one, too, I will speak of, and I definitely felt like he got set up from the beginning, and that is Deshaun Foster. Although he did not do a great job his first 2 years at UCLA, the reason why I say I felt like he was set up from the beginning is because I honestly don't think he should have gotten the job, being the fact that he hadn't really been an offense or a defensive coordinator or a head coach, if any, on a college level. And so he kind of just got that job based on him just I don't know. I guess they just had to hire somebody real quick, and they said Deshaun Foster. So I felt like the school never really planned on him being the head coach long term. They just had to throw him in there, just so that they can say, "Hey, we got a head coach." And I think he definitely wasn't doing the best job. But even with him being an alum from the school as well, and I felt like they just kind of put him into the fire. They could at least let him complete the season, and then they could have said, "All right, you know what, we're going to let you go." But yes, things were definitely going bad for him in UCLA, and as you can see, things are going right for them since he's been let go. But then, last but not least, definitely too, if you're looking at the NFL, you see that the Tennessee Titans head coach Brian Callahan, he got let go, and now he did have one season last year, but then he had the #1 draft pick. But I can't really say that it's maybe just all him and the coaching or whatnot. I think if you looked at some of their games, they have just a whole lot of issues going on with the team. And sometimes it's not always the coaches. Sometimes it's just, your players ain't good. So I think they could have gave him a little bit more time to actually grow his players. Now, the funny thing about this is that the last couple of #1 draft pick head coaches have gotten let go in the season, and he was another one that got let go inside the actual season. And this has happened, I believe, 4 out of the last 5 #1 draft picks that were quarterbacks. This has actually happened where the head coach has gotten let go in before the season actually ended. So this is something that is just very funny how these coaches keep on getting let go. But this has been another Thirsty Taste Thursday. Now, definitely you see me doing some eggs earlier. Now, eggs is definitely a breakfast type thing, but you can always meal prep and actually cook them at night, and then go ahead and have them ready for the morning. So, this is just something that, like I said, is definitely good for you. You put in the mushrooms and the tomatoes and the onions and the green peppers. Oftentimes, we're not going to eat these things. And if you don't put them in something that you actually like, you may not actually eat them, even though they are actually good vegetables for you. So this is why I do it like that, so I can make sure I get these vegetables in. But as always, I know what I like and I know what I want, so don't worry about my taste.